Gather around all your kids and friends. It's story time. It's story time. It's story time. Okay, this morning we're going to tell a story about where Anna actually has a slumber party weekend. So gather all your kids around because we're getting ready to tell that story. Anna comes from a middle-class home based in Pennsylvania, where it was her birthday party, and she decided to have a slumber party weekend. She could not wait for this event. She was so excited about having this party that she really wanted to have this party more than anything in the whole wide world. It's something where she was looking forward to having this party because she's been just anxiously awaiting until this date. So the week of her party came. So she invited 9 other friends over, ranging from 13 years old to 13 years old to 9 years old. And Anna was the host of the party. And there were 9 other girls, like I said, other than herself. And they ranged from 9 to 13 years of age. And of course, at the slumber party, when the time came, she was so excited, she became nauseated. Her stomach was hurt. And she felt dizzy, but it was not because she was sick or ill. It was because she was so excited. Because she knew she was going to have a wonderful time later on with all her classmates and friends in the neighborhood at her party that night. So she helped her mom eagerly and excitedly decorate and help arrange everything for the party. And then all of a sudden, the time came and and people began to knock on the door. And more and more girls were coming in, and they all came in there. They all exchanged gifts. They had cake, then they played games, and they had ice cream. They played games like musical chairs after that, and they had played Pin the Tail on the Donkey. They played Uno, which is a fun game. They played Candyland, and they even watched some TV. And then at night, when they all huddled up to her room, which is upstairs in the attic of her house, which has been converted to a bedroom, they all anxiously went into there, all exciting, and went in there to tell a ghost story. And the funny thing about it, the weather forecast said it was supposed to be partly cloudy that evening. There was no thunderstorm in the sky, but it was like it was just weird how it just came out of nowhere, and sometimes storms do that even in real life. But this storm seemed to be perfectly set up for Anna's story. So anyway, she began to tell her story. And the thunder roared, and the lightning flashed like a big flash. The loud thunder vibrated the house violently. It scared the girls. As, of course, it even scared Anna a little bit too, so she still continued to proceed to tell her story. And all of a sudden, the lights went out, and it was all dark in her room, real dark. You couldn't really see anything in front of her face until she turned on the flashlight. You know, they already had them in there when the lights were on, but the lightning was flickering out there violently, and the thunder was very tremendously loud. So she began to tell her story and made breathing sounds. She said, "When you hear that breathing sound, look outside your window, for there may be something there lurking in the trees." So all the girls went, "Ah!" and they ran to the window to look with fright. And they looked out there and thought they saw something, but nothing was really there. It was just the trees from the lightning, how the lightning would shift through the leaves and dance and make all kinds of shadows on the walls in the bedroom, since there were 2 big windows, in the bedroom on either side of the house. And she had windows in the back of her bedroom and windows in the front of her. She had one big bedroom over the garage, and the windows were in the front and the back of the bedroom. So that she had lightning coming in from all sides and trees all around her house outside. So every time it would lightning, the girls thought they saw somebody looking in at them through the window. But really it was, like I said, was just the leaves and the trees and how the lightning would just reflect off of them through the different areas where the lightning would flash through the sky. And sometimes the lightning would kind of go across the sky. Instead of coming down, it was going across the sky through the clouds. And it looked really weird and ominous looking. But this storm came out of nowhere and was really strange. But it really did come out of nowhere. And it's just like they do in real life, they do that. So anyway, so the kids were all scared. And she said, well, there's nothing to be afraid of because that was just a story, a scary story about a man in a tree or something, a monster in a tree. And of course she said, it's not a true story. It's all fake. I just told you that story just to get you scared. So the girls all went to bed, and they all had a hard time sleeping when they went to bed. But eventually they did go to sleep, and nobody had nightmares. And they all woke up, and they all were eager to eat breakfast and eagerly waiting to see their parents the next day. So what I want to ask you is, at night, even though it ain't true that something's out there, if you're worried about something being in the tree at night, when you go to bed, shut the curtains in your window, pull the shade down, because you never know. Something just might be in the trees. I'm just kidding. This is Uncle Mike with a short story of Anna's slumber party. Hope you enjoyed it. A little bit of scariness, but all fun. And don't worry, there's nothing in the trees. I can assure you that, except for the branches and leaves. But anyway, just be careful. When it's storming on a normal night, don't be afraid what might lurk in the trees. So that's story time, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Short, but that's why they're called short stories, where all good things must come to an end. There's a little scary story there. Somebody wanted me to tell a story and give a little scariness. There's a little scariness there. Even though there was a lot of fun there. It's like two stories in one. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next week with another short story for story time. Story time, story time, story time. It was story time. We'll see you next week with another short story. Yee! See you next Tuesday. So with another story written by me. And I'll see you later. This is Uncle Mike, or Evangelist Mike for New Hunter Church of Christ. See you for now. God bless.